So this video is going to show you the apparent motions of the sun here in upstate New York. This will also help you with your season stuff and knowing the dates for different things like that. So first of all, I want you to zoom out so that you have some room to write down here on the bottom. And we're going to use our drawing tool first. You're going to want to use a stroke thickness of about 4. And we're going to start with blue because we're going to start with winter. Now, of these 3 different arches or lines that are drawn, I want you to, on this one, I want you to trace over the black line, and this is going to be our winter line. So we're going to type down here in the text box, we're going to use a pretty large font size of 18, and we're going to keep our blue color because we're talking about winter. Winter is usually cold. This is the winter solstice. This is going to be about 8 to 9 hours a day. And the angle or the date is December 21st. Now, the angle that the sun is in the sky, the highest that the sun's angle reaches in the sky this day is 23.5 degrees in the sky. Let's superscript that. Okay, so that is the winter solstice. Let's do the vernal equinox and the autumnal equinox. Autumnal, remember, is for autumn. Vernal is the fancy word for spring. So I'm going to use green because when I think of spring, I think green grass and green leaves on trees. I'm going to trace over this line. This is not a super pretty green. It's kind of a weird yellowy green. Then on my text box, we're actually going to go up 23.5 degrees. So this angle of the sun in the sky this day is 47 degrees. Highlight that, superscript. And I have to name these. So this is the vernal and autumnal equinox. The sun on these 2 days is about 12 hours. And the dates would be, usually it's around September 23rd for the autumnal. So here, let me do like March 21st and September 23rd. They change year to year, or every couple of years they change because of the angle of the sun, and it changes because it's not always perfect. And I'm changing this color to green to kind of match up with our writing. Now, the last one we're going to do, I'm going to do it in red because when I think summer, I think warmth and heat, and that's not the one I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. So I'm going to trace over this line. This is not good tracing. Okay, look at my text box. This angle of the sun reaches all the way up to 70.5. Use the red. Highlight my O to superscript for my degrees. This I didn't change to green. There. Now my next text box, this is going to be the summer solstice. The daylight hours range between 15 to 16 hours of daylight. And then the date is June 21st. Now, what I forgot to include in the beginning is right here on this little X, this is where the observer would be standing. And it's the bigger picture, so this little person is kind of not how big we are. This would be a giant. Okay, but you can see that directly above this is the zenith. At the zenith, it is 90 degrees up here. It is 90 degrees up into the air. Notice how in New York State, the highest sun never reaches 90 degrees in New York State, the highest we get is 70.5. So what that means is that it doesn't get as hot here in New York State because the sun can only get so strong. Whereas if you live somewhere like the equator where the sun does reach zenith twice a year, that's where you're going to have higher temperatures. Okay? If you have any questions, let me know.